Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabi ajma'in. I have received a question which is to do with the unprecedented situation we have, where people cannot go and pray Taraweeh at home, at the masajid. So they ended up without any choice except to do it at home. And at home, they face this situation where the husband is not a scholar of Islam, is not a reciter of Quran, and where the wife is, she has, maybe sometimes she is a hafiza of Quran, or she can read better. She has tajweed, she has mastered the art of tajweed, and she's also knowledgeable in Islam. So is there any relaxed ruling in Islam allowing that woman who is to lead her family, her husband, her children, and maybe her parents, and maybe her brothers and sisters at home in Taraweeh? Is it allowed? Of course, the answer to this question is that you would get the ready-made answer from our standard scholarship, is that it cannot be done. And they would quote some dubious traditions, akhiruhunna, keep women back. They should go back. They are not supposed to. Men have been endowed with this honor, a privilege, and you cannot take it away from men, and man should be leading all the time. Of course, I agree with them that in Islam, we are not allowed to appoint a woman to lead us in a masjid. In Jummah, we cannot do that. I don't agree with that, and I have given a detailed answer on this issue, and you can access it. But the question of a woman leading for her family members who are her maharim, they are not strangers to her. Is there any allowance, any precedent in the sunnah of the Prophet and the practice of the pious predecessors for it? Yes, I would say there is a precedent for it. There is a tradition reported in Abu Dawud and others, which says that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam appointed Waraqah, who was a woman well known for her expertise in the Quran, to lead her family members in Salah. And the Prophet also appointed a mu'adhin for her, who was an elderly man. This is a hadith. Some people have cast doubts on it, but I would tell you others have accepted it, including Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal and Ibn Ma'in and others. When others questioned the narrator, they have said he is a reliable person and the hadith is sound. So you cannot question the expertise of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal or Ibn Ma'in. They are, eminent scholars of hadith, or critics of hadith. So you cannot easily dismiss this as something invented or dubious or spurious. No, it is it's a sound tradition, and that is why a number of scholars, including Imam Ibn Jarir al-Tabari, who is one of the greatest mufassirin, no one writes a tafsir without referring to his tafsir. Is a foundational text in tafsir. And also Muzani and Abu Thawr and some others have also allowed this, and based on this tradition, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal also approved that in Taraweeh and Nawafil prayers, where women may be more, you have a situation of woman being more knowledgeable in Quran and Islam, she should be allowed to lead the prayer. And this was also endorsed by another great scholar of Islam, Imam Ibn Taymiyyah. Some people will cast doubts on his authenticity, but definitely he has been considered a Shaykhul Islam by so many, more than a dozen of great eminent scholars. He is definitely, in spite of all those criticism against him, I don't agree with some of his views, but that would not, as Imam Ibn Shawaliullah Dharwi said, he is a man who respected, who regarded highly Ibn Arabi, the Sufi Sheikh, and Ibn Taymiyyah at the same time. Some people will say, how can you reconcile the two? And this is the comprehensive nature of Shawali Dahlavi, whose mind can, he said both of them are awliyaullah, are some of the best scholars of Islam. And so, of course, don't dismiss Imam Ibn Taymiyyah, even if you accept Ibn Arabi as Shaykh al-Akbar. He Shaykhul Islam. Ibn Taymiyyah is also a Shaykhul Islam. So this is a valid ruling you can follow. And actually, I came to this conclusion, when I started out in my fatwa 25 years ago. It was forced upon me. Islam Online forced me to give this fatwa as on their website. So this question came. You have a lot of cases of women, Muslim women who are sometimes scholars in Islam, marrying a convert. And this person is new to Islam, he doesn't even read Fatiha properly. So the question came, can that woman lead her husband until he is able to read the Quran properly and lead? So I probed the sources, I found this, and then later on also I found out that one of the great scholars who died a few years ago, Professor Hamidullah from Paris, he's a great scholar of Islam. His contribution, very high contributions to the cause of Islam on Sirah and other sources on the works of the Prophet ﷺ, he also came up with this ruling, because this question was posed to him also, because he was living in Paris and there were converts to Islam who did not know how to read Quran, and their wives were able to read. So the fatwa, he gave the fatwa, yes, she can lead for her family. So I use this fatwa to allow for women who are reciters, proper reciters of the Quran, or if they are Hufaz, to lead the family members, of course only family members. And where would they stand? If it was required for Waraqah to stand behind, then Prophet would have told her, yes, you should lead, but go and stand behind to lead them. In the Sharia, when there is a need for an issue to be explained clearly, a rule to be explained clearly, and the Prophet did not do so, if he is silent, then we are not supposed to impose that restriction. So she can stand. After all, what is that? She is not going to distract her husband. She is not going to distract her parents, her children. If this distraction is the point, then of course in the haram it's happening. Women are praying in front of men. It's a situation, unavoidable situation. And the Prophet himself, we know from the person of the Prophet, he used to pray and Aisha radiallahu anha is lying in front of him. If you have a wife cause a distraction, how would the Prophet allow her to lie down in front of him? So I would say she can lead and stand in front and others can follow. She doesn't need to go forward as an ordinary. If she wants to do that, that's fine. Otherwise, she can just step one step ahead and stand and lead. Others can follow. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us. If we have said it right, it is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah accept it. If it is wrong, may Allah forgive us. And it's an ijtihad. In ijtihad, you cannot condemn anybody. Unfortunately, our scholars are in a rush. Whatever they don't know or they differ with, they condemn. And this is not the quality of Islamic scholarship, because in Islam, one of the first principles they is to teach. من لم يعلم الاختلاف لم يسم الفقه. Whoever doesn't know the difference of opinion in an issue of fiqh, he did not even smell fiqh, let alone master it. Because otherwise you are going to condemn people who hold a different view. So respect each other, even if we differ. This is the precedent set by the Prophet ﷺ also, and because Rasulullah ﷺ condoned these differences. I will explain it later on. And the Sahaba differed, and yet they prayed behind each other, respected each other. This is the tradition we need to follow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.